Hey, welcome back to Lazy Gamers. Play Divinity Original Sin 2. I guess this is Definitive Edition now. When we last left off, we saved a woman who really liked grenades. Happened upon a slaughtered caravan that we already knew about. Told the kid that the person he's waiting for is dead. And we're about to go into the city and see if we can find some more crap to get rid of our overpowered gear.
Yeah. I noticed that these two guards here are silent so they're the result of more of that source experimentation, I think.
Yeah, I can't wait to kill Dallas. If we get to kill Dallas.
This town looks peaceful enough. Let's find out
Yeah,
if looks deceive.
Looked like a freaking war zone outside the front
Yeah,
gate.
it's all bright and sunny out here now. What's going on here?
Oh, we dwarves had a kingdom, and we will have it back. I won't always be sweet.
Okay. What do these bowls have to say?
Heavens to Bessie, another one. More queer folk than commoners in Driftwood these days. Just look at you. Never saw an ugly mark like that on a pretty face like yours. I bet you ain't the fella that put it there.
Yeah.
Anyway, tavern's just down the road, 'cause that's where all the queer ones go. I don't know what's going.
Oh, this is super convenient. Practically all of the magic
word, but a pretty thing like you shouldn't look
trainers are like right here in this one area.
Perhaps you could use
Like,
a touch of
one sells all of the like fire, earth, and crap like that. Another one sells all of the necromancy, summoning, and water stuff.
What sort of wand do you have on right now? Are you using the overpowered ones?
No, I've already gone ahead and replaced them.
Okay, I can get this unique one for you.
I'm all right as long as I don't
Nah.
It's level 12.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
We're not even level 12 yet, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
No, we're not. Sorry, we're level 11.
Yep.
Worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in
Calm as a coiled spring, held tight.
Silent walker.
You needing supplies?
I wonder how hard it would be
Stock
to
up if I
steal
were you.
from these people.
It's madness out there. Never seen anything like it.
You really want to figure that?
I mean, we'd have to slaughter all of them, but I never said it would be you.
Yeah, the
Until later, then.
trader Haran here, who also sells
You're a
some
delicate
weapons
one,
and
ain't ya?
armor. He's got the
Hope
first
the
aid for
smell
the
don't drive you
huntsman.
off.
I
That
can
you
pour
wanted.
inside fire, cold and poison.
What do I need to replace on me? Belt
God
and
knows what
pin.
sturdy
elf you are. A glance at the dog's miserable
one takes
face tells you it's
strength.
sick, all right. What am I, dog's doctor? Dog's sick. Go on, kiss a penny for a sick
May just have to
dog.
go with normal junk.
Thank you
Belt and
kindly.
pins.
Much obliged. Cheers. You're very kind. Nice. There's a spirit. How about
Oh my god, how many
much
gold coins is this
obliged. Could I
beggar gonna
push
ask
you
for?
one more? Cheers. You're very kind. Nice. There's a much obliged.
Alright. He's...
Party for a penny. You can sing him a love song and cheers. You're very nice. There's a much cheers. You're not.
Okay, this is just gonna keep going on indefinitely. We're
The
probably
dog
dead.
lies there quietly, clear.
What are you looking at? I'm sick here. Get lost. Got a pain in the neck. Got a bad pain in the neck.
It flinches. A low, threatening growl builds within its throat. Under the collar, you find the sharpened points of metal rivets, gouging.
Wow,
the
this
poor
fucking
dog's
beggar
skin.
put like
The dog
spikes
bares
underneath
its
the
teeth
collar
at you
so
and
it's
growls.
constantly hurting it.
Well, that guy's
The
an
dog gives you a
asshole.
long, hard stare, but the dog goes to bite your hand, and then
Hey, I feel okay. Thanks. Think I'll wander off now. Here, before I go, what can I do to show my gratitude? Master did.
Oh.
Huh? Wait a minute. Master?
he turns to his master.
You bad man, you!
I told the dog that that his master put the the painful collar on him. And he's like, "You bad man, you bark." And he ran away from the guy.
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away. God damn it. That was my livelihood. Penny for
I was like, "Why'd you put the collar on him?" God damn it, that was my livelihood. Penny for a grieving beggar, I reckon I'm owed it here. Get a job.
No.
And he said, "No." Tell him to get out of town. No. Tell him you'll tell the people what he did.
You wouldn't do that, would you?
You wouldn't do that? Oh, yes, I fucking
Do
would.
that, wouldn't you?
Right. Tell him for a penny you'll turn a blind eye.
Upon you to change your mind.
Tell him you want to cut, you'll take half his earnings, call it the dog's half. Tell him you want all of his earnings and he can be glad that's all you're asking.
He gives you a cool look, then rummages in his pocket. He hands
Look,
you
I gave him a lot more than 5 gold. I want all of that back.
That's your luck. Go on then, get.
He called me a freeloader.
Lucian's Day is coming up, and there'll be no steak on the table.
Have you found gear vendors yet?
Good
Yeah,
day
there's
to
some
you.
around.
Smells worse over here than a
moving-
dozen rotten eggs dropped in a
Unloading my
battle
absurd
vinegar.
amount of gold over here into a box.
Interested in Driftwood's finest?
You look down at the cart and see
As you will, chump.
Keeping it together, Reed.
Wars are brewing, my friend, and we may find ourselves on different sides, in which case
don't.
prices will go up.
Thanks, man.
Buy now while you still can.
Ah, first aid. There we go. This is a weapon vendor, so let's see.
Yeah, I'm good on weapons on my side. Red's got like a zillion different weapons that I'll probably have to sell at some point.
Oh, right, I should probably get rid of some of this crap. Oh, I'm thinking I'll get rid of this shit that I don't need. That'll free up a lot of inventory space for me.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think of it too much. Save from a price. Never forget.
Oh, wait, not that. We didn't pick up all the tyrant armor when we were speed running through the first section.
Yeah, it would have been taking a long, well, not really taking a long time, but like we would have had to ran around a lot more.
Yeah.
Who will?
Part of the reason why we were able to get to the first act so quickly is we basically just skipped most of the side quests. So, even though we could basically just roll over everything, like I guess it's worth also pointing out that we all started with as rogues, so we could just physical damage everything down really, really fast. I never bought a single rogue skill. I just used the ones I started with the entire time, and that was still enough to basically kill everything. It was insane.
Yeah, it was pretty absurd how easy it was getting through the first part.
I mean, even towards the end of the first act, because we immediately leveled up to level 10, and that's why we're level 11 now. We're basically 2 levels ahead of what we are on the classic save, because we were still picking up experience points as we were going through the first act, although we didn't pick up nearly as much because we didn't do the side quests, but it still happened. But the fact that we were able to take on the last couple fights in the first act, which are still pretty close to us in level, with almost nothing in the way of like skills, is still ridiculous. Like, it wasn't even like we didn't even have to worry about it or like, well, oh crap, we're about to die or anything like that. No, it was just simply we just rolled over everything.
Yeah,
they didn't even give it. They did it in the last fight where you fight with Alexander and the Void Worm. They didn't even give us the option of picking up NPCs. They were just like, you guys seem good enough. You can do it on your own. And we still had no problems whatsoever. It was like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty absurd. Let's see. Alright, so I need pants, belt, chest, and head on my character to have replaced all my overpowered gear.
Tell me, have you heard any news?
Nothing good. The Voidwoken are everywhere. Thank the Divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
I just lied to these kids. Apparently their friend swam to Fort Joy, and they were like... and I told them, she basically says, like, Fort Joy's a happy place, you know, right, missus? I was like, yeah, of course it's a lovely place.
What tickles your face? 7 slavers. Stabbed in the back and kill them all, I say. I mean, they doomed us all, didn't they? The son of the Divine is dead. Jolly Justinia, Queen of the Dwarves. Here's 20. You ask me, and I say she's ain't looking too good. Don't need to tell you.
Are there quests that we're supposed to be doing in here?
Yep. The Magister leadership's on the dock over here. Magister Raymond.
We also have to find some tribal elves on the Reaper's Coast. Tell them that you killed Sahioa.
Whoops. Oh yeah, I should probably explain that one. In the first playthrough on Classic, with the fight where I have to fight the girl that basically has the bandages over her eyes and is blind, one, all of my friends were there. 2, I wasn't a rogue that had the opportunist talent, meaning I couldn't just take attacks of opportunity when people walked by. But this time around, I was a rogue, and I did have the opportunist talent. So she decides to walk by me, a level 10 rogue with legendary gear, and I just one-shot her.
Loyal flesh that's made sacrifices for a true cause.
Yeah.
You have more in common with
mistakes were made
vermin than you do with me.
Yeah.
7 preserve me. My own Magister comrades are vanishing from right here in Drift. 3 Magisters vanished. That's what I'm intent. I have to keep investigating. You do that.
Oh.
You can figure this out.
We wander and
In the
wander,
tavern.
seeking signs from the gods.
That divine voice. That glorious visage.
Paradise against
Pretty
all.
good, ain't he? Bet he'd even write a poem for you.
If you got nothing to hide, you got nothing. You have interrupted my newest masterpiece.
Oh, shut up, Bob.
Just caging anyone up that looks at him funny.
And since we sped run through everything, we're missing out on quite a bit of recipes that we had.
The bard clears his throat
Oh,
and
yeah.
gargle.
Yep.
Well, wait. You might be just the stimulus I needed. I shall craft a rhyme for you and your race. Normally I'd argue with you, but you do have a certain look about you.
He stares at you for...
My first question. Are you hungry? Actually, that's not quite what I mean. But you eat flesh. When you look at me, what do you see? A dwarf? A bard? A meal?
He smiles, a crooked smile.
An elf craves those memories like an addict craves Drudene. A pity that you turn to the dead for emotional sustenance. Would you not rather form bonds with the living? I suspect you collect memories not for knowledge, but from fear. Your homeland fell to the
The bard hems and haws, then
to all lovers of verse, I bring a hunger gnaws at elves, a driving
I had to make
lust.
are you getting drunk?
If you got nothing
Yep.
to do, you got nothing
Talking to this
do.
elf who's
That's
just
what I say
plastered.
downstairs. The Magisters is all that stands between us and the Voidwoken.
Yet never sated, start their search afresh. A wealth of knowledge, not of shiny.
Don't expect no small portions. Same size and price for everyone.
Is she okay?
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue steel sharp.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
The soft lines of her face fold into a warm smile. She said,
I see your mother raised you very well indeed. Rare for an elf, but all the more impressive. You and my Niles might even get along. What brings you to Driftwood, darling?
So, the barkeep is like, I feel you and my Niles might get along. Charters you recall a certain Niles you met in Fort Joy, sadistic torture, describe his appearance and ask if you have the right man.
Yes, that's my boy.
Yes, that's my boy's. Did you know him? Finest physician in all of Reaper's Coast, top of his class. My, but it's been too long since I've seen him. Should I tell him Tell her you knew him well enough. It was you who killed him, after all. Say you knew him indeed. Knew him to be a madman and a deviant. Or should I say you knew him to be a fine physician? What do you think?
Ooh. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you. This could go interesting. He was a torturer, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
A deviant, but what do you mean? You have to make tremendous pleasure out of hurting the prisoners sent to him. See the worry in her face and think better of telling the truth. Say you think you're mistaking him for someone else. Nope, I already started on this. Tell me what you saw. Say he had a dank cave which he called his playground where he committed acts of torture for his own gratification. Say there was enough blood at his feet to account for 100 lost lives. Avoid the truth. Tell her you aren't sure. There was a lot of blood.
Prudence takes up a clean glass and starts to polish it with her rag.
Told him the divine punished him for that nonsense if he kept it up. Told him and told him and told him till he couldn't.
Oh, she already knew he was sadistic as fuck.
I should have told him so hard he'd never get back up.
She turns away from you and continues polishing the glass. Eyes...
Nothing. Not for you.
Wow. Rude.
The innkeeper's steely eyes dart around the bar nervously.
Abstinence and chastity. That's what we learned in my home. That's...
She looks through you.
Nothing.
I wonder if Fane a little
A
different
prim
response.
woman in a starched apron.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
So there's the conversation pretty much starts over. One of the options for it, she's like, blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine. Fane's special response. You freeze. She expects something from you. Imitate the only human ritual you know. Extend your hand and loudly say, nice to meet you. Recall a common greeting from a generation ago. I'll do that one.
The soft lines of her face fall.
I see your mother raised you very well indeed. You and my Niles would get along. Fort Joy. Praises be, but that's where my boy Niles is stationed. He's the physician overseeing all the camp. Yes, that's my boy. A fine physician. Oh, but it's so good to meet a friend of Niles.
She gave me stew.
Here, no one in our little town can appreciate work so fine as his, you know. All his instruments and books are stored away upstairs, all but forgotten. It's such a terrible waste.
Whoa. This chest has a glowing lock.
Well, if he ever comes back home. Anyhow, what can I get you? We've only got amber ale, I'm afraid. Coming right up, darling.
Yeah. Did you find something?
Finally.
Upstairs in the tavern, there's a room that's got a chest with a glowing lock.
You found a lock thing?
She nods an
Is
uninterested.
Yeah, there's a chest with a literal glowing lock.
Huh.
This is a tavern. People are drinking. Eventually there'll be a fight. You planning on starting one?
Well, I look forward to beating the shite out of you.
Where are you? Upstairs?
Yeah.
Alright, I can just teleport to you. Where's this glowing rock at?
Too careful, you know. If I can get Alexander.
To the north, there's a sleeping adventurer.
Let me know if anyone's about to come in here, by the way.
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn.
Oh. I'd like to point out as I'm sneaking around, both my staff and my helm are sticking out the top.
Yep.
Let's save first.
Yeah, glowing lock on a chest. Not suspicious in the least bit.
Curiosity kills the cat.
Huh.
Gets its sense
It
of
worked.
joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy
Huh.
for one night with a lizard?
226 gold.
Then you're an idiot.
Weathered and rugged, the man's...
There's bad things in there.
Startled, he opens his eyes.
It's locked.
Blood and oil do mix.
His eyes flick wide, but he's clear.
The island is ruined and doesn't have a name.
His eyes open. His eyes flick wide open.
Sawdust and...
His eyes flick wide. His eyes flick. His eyes open. He goes back to... Weathered and rugged, the... Startled. He goes back to...
What?
Request Fane's assistance to unlock this door over here.
Okay.
I want to see what's on the third floor.
Lock cannot be picked.
Yeah, that sucks.
What on earth is that? Have you a reason for barging into my room, madam?
Alright. Have the...
Wasn't this room but of course I... Better watch yourself, lass. Got greedy eyes on you.
There's two locked chests over here that I really want to open. He saying anything interesting?
Hard.
Not really, no.
Of all things, I wouldn't have thought my accent would give me away, but you're quite right. I am traveling, yes, to Arx. Lucian's Day will be upon us soon, a celebration no man with a heart that is both as pious and mercantile as mine should miss.
Gonna be hell dragging them coffers to Arx.
Okay. Can you do me a favor and get Red Prince to talk to that other guard with him facing the other direction? Like the wall or something?
What, the one next to this dude?
Yeah.
Look out. I see a trap
Woo!
What happened?
There are 4 traps right around that thing.
The dude's a merchant, so there'd probably be pretty decent stuff in those chests.
In theory. If they're not fucking trapped just like them, just like the fucking thing around him. That was almost real bad, because I almost walked right into him. Save. ring
This dude actually.
and some gold. Poison and... Alright. Wait, what? It's because I was too close to the, I think I was too close to the, chests for his liking.
Then you're an idiot.
Gonna be here.
Still talking to him?
Yeah, I'm looking through his wares now. He's got a decent amount of stuff, at least.
What do you want, tree stock? Huh.
Actually,
I want another beer and a bowl of stew.
got
Which of us
legendaries to
is more
sell.
likely to get what they want, do you think? Guess that makes me a sinner. Perhaps you can help us settle an argument. Thatcher here is one of my dearest friends.
Thatcher grins hello.
Our mate Boris got posted to Fort Joy for consorting with lizards. And Thatcher here still fancies a turn around the park with Loverick's lizard. I say she'd be sleeping with the enemy. What say you?
They look at you expectantly.
She's at they're trying to settle an argument. Evidently her friend wants to have sex with a lizard. And she's like,
yeah,
I think he'd be sleeping with the enemy. Okay. Sybil's special response, tell them an adventurous spirit knows no bounds.
I said something very similar with my character.
Thatcher looks victorious. Eden.
You're as bad as she is. Get lost.
Eden turns back to her.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
Here now, when one's in a small town, one must expect
Okay,
small
is there
town
anything
manners, I see.
I can replace my shit with? These don't have particularly good stats for me, but it is what it is. It'll replace a legendary piece, so.
So apparently there's a ship crashed on the shoals somewhere, and we need to stop a bell that's driving a lady crazy.
Here. I go because it is that said. As a merchant, it is quite my favorite day of the year.
Oh, I have quest markers all over the place in here. What the hell?
The bell still rings.
A weathered woman in a dirty sea captain's tunic babbles breathlessly to herself.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn. And
It's a shame, it is.
Or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
An absolute shame.
Alexander, slaughtered like a supper.
It ain't right.
It ain't right. Never thought I'd say this. But I hope they round up them sorcerers for good. I ain't leaving one sick and of all.
You said it, Hilka.
If only they knew that the people who killed all those magisters and tried to kill Alexander were still here, right around them.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
So I don't think we need anything that's in here. Oh, it's traded.
Hold it. Papa no, you no go. None of your beeswax, unless you got a reason to be here.
This is the... There's the guy that apparently knows demons.
Cool. Let's see.
You can't buy more. You can buy 10 seconds of me eyeballs examining the ground for, well, let's say, a small fortune. You look like you'd be good for it.
He pockets the coin.
I'm in the basement. I'll let you know if I need any help down here.
Alright.
But we'll find out what's going on in here next time here on Lazy Gamers. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Have a good one. Hopefully there won't be as much story stuff next time. We'll figure out what the hell we're doing.